What if tomorrow knows what you keep avoiding? The Tomorrow series. We like to believe the future is unknown, that tomorrow is empty, a blank page, although we haven't opened yet. But maybe that isn't true. Maybe tomorrow is not the stranger. Maybe it is already being shaped quietly by the things we refuse to look at today. Think of one thing you have been avoiding. You know what it is. You felt it the moment I said the word avoiding. A small weight moved inside you. And that weight does not stay still, it travels. It moves forward in time, and it waits for you there. Not to punish you, just to meet you. So tonight, let's sit with the simple question. What if tomorrow already knows what you keep turning away from? Not because tomorrow can see, it can't, but because tomorrow is where everything we postpone finally arrives. We spend so much energy guarding the future, planning it, worrying about it, trying to control what we cannot yet touch, but rarely notice the simplest thing of all. The future is mostly made of the day. Not the day we imagine, but the one we actually live. The choices we make when no one is watching. The things we say and the things we keep choosing not to say. Tomorrow is built from these quietly, without ceremony, brick by brick, while we look the other way. There's something we tell ourselves when we look away. We tell ourselves, it's gone. The unread message. The conversation we keep ending early. The decision we promise to make later. We close the door and feel relief. But relief is not the same as resolution. The thing did not disappear, it only moves. Avoidance is not deletion. It is delay, wearing the mask of peace. When you avoid the truth does not change. It simply waits somewhere ahead of you, patient and unbothered. The same size it always was, sometimes larger. Think of a small leak in a quiet room. You hear the drop. You decide not to look. The sound continues whether you listen or not. The water gathers whether you watch or not. Reality does not need your attention to keep existing. And there is a reason we avoid. It's not weakness. It is fear, wearing soft clothes. To face a thing means to feel it. And feeling it even for a moment is hard. So the mind offers a quiet trait. Look away now, it says, and you can feel better right away. And it's true, for a moment, but the mind never mentions the cost. It never tells you that the feeling you skipped is not deleted. It is saved, and it gathers interest. This is the first quiet thing tomorrow knows. That what you didn't face today did not vanish, it just changed addresses. It moved into the house of tomorrow, and it left the light on. Part 2. The quiet cost of delay. Delay feels free. That is the trap. When you push something forward, nothing seems to happen. No bill arrives. No alarm sounds. The day simply continues. So you push again and again, and slowly something begins to change. The thing you delayed is no longer the same size. A small apology, left alone, becomes a wall. A simple question, never asked, becomes a distance between two people. A checkup you skipped before a worry you carry everywhere. A dream you kept for later becomes a quiet ache you can't quite name. Delay does not keep things small. Delay lets them grow in the dark. Think of a single thread. Loose on your sleeve. Today you could fix it with your fingers. A second, small motion, but left alone. The thread pulls. The seam opens. And what was once a second's work becomes something you can no longer mend so easily. This is the quiet cost. Not that delay hurts you today, but that it sends the bill to a version of you who will have less time, less energy, and more weight to carry. You are not avoiding the task. You are handing it to your future self, and your future self is already tired. We imagine that we will be stronger, that some better version of us will handle it, a calmer one, a braver one. But that version is made from what we practice now. If we practice waiting, we become better at waiting, not braver. The person who will face it tomorrow is the same person avoiding it today, only with less time. This is the quiet arithmetic of delay. Nothing is subtracted, everything is moved forward. And it waits for us with patience we do not deserve and cannot escape. Tomorrow is simply where the small things we ignored arrive, grown. Part 3. What you avoid becomes a pattern. The first time you avoid something, it's a choice. The 100th time, it's a habit. And somewhere in between, without noticing, it becomes you. This is a part we don't talk about. We think avoidance is a single act, a door we close once, but the mind learns from what we repeat, and every time you step around the hard thing, you teach yourself a quiet lesson. You teach yourself, this is who I am. I am someone who does not finish. I am someone who does not speak. I am someone who waits. You did not decide this on purpose, it gathered on small avoidance at the time, like footsteps on soft ground. The first step leaves almost nothing, but walk the same line for years and a path appears. A path you didn't mean to make, and a direction you didn't mean to choose. This is how a person becomes someone they never planned to be. Not through one large mistake, but through 1,000 small turnings away. And here's the gentle, difficult truth. The opposite is also real. Every time you face one small thing, you teach yourself a different lesson. You become someone who can, slowly, quietly, the same way, but in the other direction. There is something tender in this, if you look closely. A pattern is not a prison. It feels like one, but a pattern is only direction we have repeated, and a direction can be changed. Not by force, not by hating the person you've become, but by one different step, then another. The path that took years to carve will not vanish overnight, and that's alright. You don't need it to vanish. You only need to start walking a new line. The old path will grow quiet on its own the moment you stop feeding it. So tomorrow does not only receive your avoidance, it receives the shape your repetition has carved. It knows you not by your words, but by your patterns. Part 4. Tomorrow does not punish you, it reveals you. Here's where we must slow down, because it's easy to imagine tomorrow as a judge, waiting to make you pay. But that is not what is happening. Tomorrow is not cruel. It does not hold a grudge. It is not standing over you with the list of your failures. Tomorrow is something quieter than that. Tomorrow is a mirror. It does not invent anything. It does not add to you. It only shows what today was already building. When the hard day arrives, and some days are hard, it can feel like a punishment. It can feel like the world turned against you. But often the hard day is not an attack. It is a revealing. It is the moment you finally see what was being assembled, piece by piece, in all days. All the days you looked away. The strange friendship reveals the conversations you never had. The empty feeling reveals the things you kept postponing. The sudden panic reveals the truth you've known for a long time. None of this is here to break you. It is here to show you. And there's a strange mercy in that, because a mirror is not the end. A mirror is an information. A mirror says, this is where you are. And anything that you can show where you are can also help you choose where to go. Think of how a photograph works. It does not decide how you look. It only records the light that was already there. If the room was dark, the picture is dark, not out of cruelty, but out of honesty. Tomorrow is like this. It develops the picture we took today. And if we don't like what we see, the answer is not to blame the photograph. The answer is to change the light. There's freedom in this if we are willing to hear it. It means tomorrow is not fixed. It is still being written right now in the smallest things we choose. We are afraid of tomorrow, but maybe we are really afraid of being seen, of meeting the truth we already carry. And tomorrow, in its quiet way, only holds up what we handed it. Part 5, the question you already know. Let's be honest with each other now. Through all of this, one specific thing has been sitting in your mind, not avoidance in general. One thing. You have been thinking about it since the beginning. You may have even tried to push it aside while listening, and that too is avoidance. You don't need me to tell you what it is, you already know. It might be a person you need to forgive, or a person you need to ask forgiveness from. It might be a habit you keep promising to leave, a truth about your health you keep stepping around, a dream you keep quietly burying because facing it feels too heavy. A relationship you already know the answer to. A change you've delayed because the comfort of not yet feels safer than the risk of now. I'm not here to tell you what to do about it. I'm only here to say you know, and knowing is already the beginning. The thing you are avoiding has a voice. It is not loud. It does not shout. It speaks in small moments, in the pause before sleep, in a second of silence after someone asks, "How are you?" How you are. In the quiet that comes when the noise of the day finally stops, you have heard it. You have heard it many times. We are very good at staying busy enough not to listen. We fill every silence with a screen, a sound, a task that does not really matter. Because in the quiet, the thing we avoid can finally speak. And we are not sure we want to hear it. But notice this. The voice is never angry. It does not curse you for ignoring it. It just keeps gently reminding you that it's still there. The way an unfinished thing always stays a little open, waiting to be closed. And maybe that is why this reflection found you tonight. Not to add guilt, you have enough of that, but to gently say the thing you keep moving forward in time is still yours. It is still waiting, and is lighter today than it will ever be again. So we return to the question we started with. What if tomorrow knows what you keep avoiding? Not because tomorrow can see into your heart. It cannot. No day holds that kind of knowing. But because tomorrow is simply where today goes, when we are done with it. Everything we postpone, we are not erasing. We are mailing it forward. And it arrives. It always arrives. This is not a reason to be afraid. It is an invitation to be honest. You do not have to fix everything tonight. You do not have to become a new person before the sun rises. That is its own kind of avoidance, demanding so much that you do nothing at all. You only have to look. To name the one thing, to stop pretending you don't see the quiet sign. Naming is small, but naming is where everything begins. A thing without a name can haunt you forever. A thing you have named, you can finally hold. You can turn it over. You can ask what it needs. You can decide at your own pace what the first small step will be. Not all of it, just the first step. That is all tomorrow ever asks of today. Not perfection, just a single honest move in the right direction. Because the things we face, even gently, even slowly, lose their power to follow us. And the things we avoid keep walking into tomorrow ahead of us, waiting. So before you sleep, sit with this, not as a command, but as a question. If tomorrow receives only what you chose to face today, what would you want it to find waiting there? And what would you finally let yourself stop carrying? Sit with that. Let it stay. Let it breathe. In the quiet, after this voice is gone. If this reflection stayed with you, you may want to subscribe and continue walking through the Tomorrow series with us.